All right, guys, welcome everybody to the Stitch and Hustle podcast show, Leathercraft Nation. So today I'm going to be talking about whether or not 2023 is a good year to even start a side hustle. With our economy the way it is, 2023 may not be the best year for the side hustle, to get into, or is it? Um, that's something that we're going to be talking whether or not it's even worth starting our side hustle this year, and are we too late? I'm going to be very honest. It's not. Um, the other thing is it oversaturated. No matter if you're in leathercraft or you're woodworking, is it oversaturated? Um, no, I don't. I really don't think so. It's not. You can create a niche around anything, and I promise you that. No matter if it's you need jewelry, woodworking, leather, metal. I think what we got scared of early on is that we didn't want to be unique. I remember back in the 90s, like you didn't want to be the weird kid. Probably was, um, but you didn't want to be that guy or girl. But now it's to the point where we should be feeding off of our uniqueness. And I know that sounds really cheesy to say, but that's true, guys. If you have an idea and you're like, okay, well, this is so far fetched, this is something I've never seen before, you probably should do it. Um, because if you don't, it's just a matter of time before someone else figures it out and starts doing it. Um, but no, 2023, we shouldn't have to worry about the competition, to a degree. It's not like the 90s where you're having to go door to door, and I've said this before. You're not having to go door to door to sell your stuff. You can do it all online. You can do local, uh, but if you're like me, I live in an area where, um, I mean, it's a fairly decent city, town, whatever. But it's not, in my opinion, marketable for the type of leathercraft that I do. Now, I can sell a few here and there, but it's not really something that I'm pushing local. Because what's funny is when I was doing woodworking primarily, I sold 99% more online shipping than I did selling local. And that's insane because I know people in this town, but I'm not expecting them to buy everything I make. But it's crazy when you live in a town and you might sell one or two things. But when you market online and you market correctly, you can sell so much more. And the cool thing about it is you slap a label on it, ship it, and there's no face-to-face interaction. You still have to offer that customer service. Like, that doesn't go away. But you don't have to go and meet anybody. You don't have to schedule to, okay, well, since it's in my side hustle, I'm doing it out of my house, I'm doing it out of my shop. I've got to take time out of my day to stop what I'm doing to meet this person, which, again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm really not. I'm just saying that e-commerce is on fire right now. And whether or not you think that you should have done it in 2020, 2021, 2022 last year, You can still start your side hustle and start making money in 2023 and not skip a beat. Some of the advantages, to just go ahead and getting started is the fact that what if it were to turn into something and it ends up being your full-time gig, you become your own boss. The other thing is, getting to work remotely. What if it's a side gig, where you travel and you talk about all these places that you go to, and you're making a channel and you're a travel agent or you're whatever, you review mountain bikes and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to hit all these trails, some of the hardest trails, and I'm going to review these mountain bikes. You get to go places. So I think that'd be kind of cool. I need to get on a mountain bike. So my New Year's resolution didn't start. I didn't start it because I knew I wasn't ready for it. So I got to get back in the gym. But no, okay. So the other thing is, there are some downsides to it. Again, economy can have an effect on some of this stuff. I know we're dealing with supply issues. We're also dealing with inflation. We're dealing with high cost raw materials, especially if you're into any type of woodworking. You know exactly how much it's gone up over the last few years. And that's probably a reason why I don't do the woodworking. That between that and I really don't have the space. I'm still just in a one-car garage. One of these days, I hope to either have a 2-car garage or a shop one day. But there's other reasons why I kind of shifted to doing the leather work. On that. By the way, I'm also live streaming on YouTube. So everybody over there, I appreciate you joining in. If you just now joined in, we're just kind of going over whether or not having a side hustle or starting a side hustle in 2023 is worth it. My quick answer is yes. Yes, it's worth it, but you're going to have to put some work into it. It's not going to go... It's not something that's just going to happen automatically. You're going to have to actually use social media. And here's the thing: I know a lot of people don't like getting on the camera, on video in front of the camera. Yeah, it sucks at first. Don't get me wrong. Like I look like I'm that kid with braces and glasses, like I back when I was a kid, and everybody looking at me like I'm the crazy one, which maybe I was, but it gets better. It really does. Once you're in front of the camera and you start showing people and you start building that relationship with other people, and they see that, okay, and here's the thing: you don't have to be an expert. Like everybody thinks, not everybody, but a good portion of people think that you have to be an expert at the niche that you're in. And here's the thing: if I was an expert at leathercraft, I probably wouldn't be on here talking about it, because I'm trying to build it up. If I was an expert, I wouldn't need to talk to you guys. I wouldn't have to share this. Like I feel there's a stigma on having to be an expert to be able to share what you know. And that's not the case. Like I said, it's about a relationship. It's about trying to show people what you know and helping them learn. And whether they wanted to create a side hustle, great. If not, if they're just looking to make it into a hobby, great. But that's not what I'm wanting to do. And so that's not what I'm trying to show you guys what to do or how to do it. especially with leathercraft. And here's the thing: a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about on this podcast is not that uh, you have to create a side hustle or immediately turn it into a business overnight, but you don't have to be in leathercraft. Um, you can be in woodworking. You can do metal, baking. I mean, that's just it, guys. You can apply a lot of these things to whatever niche you want. It doesn't have to be just leathercraft. I just happen to really enjoy it. And anybody that really enjoys the niche that they're in, their passion, their craft, it's therapeutic for me. Lane's leatherwork, if I'm standing right. There is some will help others, some will help, others will laugh. It's all part of growing and the learning process. Amen. Yeah, you're right. It really is. And I know there's people that shy away from posting their work or doing lives or just posting videos because they're afraid that someone's going to laugh. Someone's going to point them out. Believe you me, I've had my fair share of people that don't agree with what I say. Here's the thing with leatherwork, with woodworking, metal, yeah, you might not do it exactly how it's supposed to be done, compared to someone else. But if that's how you learned it and you're still producing something that you believe is a quality product, and it is, and your customers see that, who cares if that other person says, well, you shouldn't use that type of joinery, or you shouldn't use that type of leather. You shouldn't use those colors together because they're not complementary colors. Stuff like that. I had a instructor in college that told me that once you know the rules, this is in graphic design, and yes, there's rules, just like any other craft. Once you know the rules, you can break them. Once you know the elements and principles of design, you can break them and use them to your advantage. And that, I truly believe, you can do in your craft within reason. With especially the design. As long as it's functional, it does what it's supposed to do. If that's what you're marketing. Now, if you're marketing something that's not functional, well, of course, that's a little bit different. If you want to make a crazy desk that's insanely cool looking, but yet the function of it doesn't work, well, it's not a functional desk anymore. It's a piece of art, and I have nothing against that at all. So anybody that does woodworking or metal or even leathercraft for just the sheer art of it, that's a skill in itself. It really is. One day I'll get into tooling. That's something that I admire anybody that can do tooling. And I'm just not quite there yet, and I don't practice enough. I really don't. That's something that would be more of a side thing for me, I guess. Tooling leather. I was looking. There's. I wish I had her name. She doesn't have a whole lot of followers, and when I find her name, I'll do another live or try to stitch or something. But she does these amazing. I don't know if anybody knows what Hey Dude is. The shoe. and I was talking about this yesterday, but she does these leather. It's like the top piece of the shoe, and she stitches it on it. And I know other people do it, but amazing artwork, amazing artwork. Um, and I think that's awesome that people can do that. But yeah, I want people to know that it's not too late to start their side hustle. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like it's still a grind, even for me to keep going. Like, and I haven't been doing it long. The leather craft I've only been doing for about 7-8 months after I sold some of my woodworking equipment. So it's taken me time to not only build up my social media for that and shift gears. Because that's one thing that can hurt you, and it did for a little bit. Is if you're stuck in a niche and you're making videos and content and everything, and then you shift gears, expect people to unsubscribe, unfollow, and stuff like that. Which I don't blame them. I would be tempted to do that too, but I also know I also know a lot of woodworkers that enjoy leathercraft, and that's why I went with that move. Whereas some people that I like, you do an extreme change, you go from woodworking to baking or gardening, then that might be an issue. So do smart transitions, smart pivots, especially starting out. But the other thing is, take your time. If you're starting out, don't expect instant results to happen overnight. Sorry, I'm losing my voice today. But there's plenty of resources out there to gain customers, to gain inspiration. I mean, you have so much out there that, between TikTok, YouTube, being the second largest search engine, you can search anything. You can take inspiration from other crafters, because here's the thing. More than likely, what you're doing, someone else has already done. That's just the fact of it. We're not reinventing the wheel, and we're not trying to recreate something that no one else has. Because like I said, more likely it's already been done. Just like leathercraft, I'm not trying to reinvent the wallet. I'm just trying to give people an option for a high quality good that not just that they couldn't get it from someone else, but that I'm building a relationship so that they actually know who they got it from. And I think, to me, that's more important, that I'm creating a relationship with a customer base, whether they see one of my videos and go to my website, or they're on one of the lives. And the other thing is, I don't want to just sell leather goods. Like that is not my main focus, to just sell what I make. I think it's great, and I'm very fortunate to make that money and build those relationships. But I want to help other crafters that want to get into leathercraft and know exactly what tools you need, what type of leather to use, and how to make stuff and make money. Because you might think, okay, yeah, it's simple to make a wallet and everything, but I get it. Some people don't understand right off the bat how to create patterns and templates, and know, okay, well, I know the credit card is this size, so I'm going to cut my leather, just a little bit bigger. Well, then, they didn't account for the the stitching, and they lose that much space, and now their credit card won't fit. Like, if I can help people out with that type of stuff, or offer the templates and patterns where they can purchase them. And once I got one template out, I'm still working on some other ones, but I want people to be able to buy them and make them and sell them. Like, I'm not putting any type of restrictions on the fact that you're selling the exact same thing I am. I don't care. I really don't. Because we're not competing against 10 people down the block. There's enough people out there where we shouldn't have to worry about the competition, and just worry about the community and helping each other out. If I wanted to keep this all for myself, I wouldn't be on these lives, talking to you guys about how to start your side hustle, how to make, 50 extra bucks a month or $200 a month. And, I wouldn't, I would just get on here and be like, okay, well, I'm so-and-so. I've got, let's see here. I've got this wallet I want to sell you, and I've got this wallet I want to sell you. Anybody want this? Go to my website. Like, I think that's pretty low. I don't like that. I really don't. I just want to help people out. I want to encourage people that want to learn, like I said, whether it's for a hobby or a side hustle, and hopefully turn into business if that's something that you're just trying to get out of your daily grind, and turn it into the daily grind that you work for yourself. That's a constant grind. So, and I want to grow with you guys. Like, I know everybody's going to move at a different pace. I still have a full-time job that I work at, and this is my side hustle, the leather craft. But why not show people? And that's exactly why I'm telling people that you can start in 2023 with your side hustle. You can start your all your social media. My thing is just start documenting. Start documenting yourself and what you're making, because you never know, who's going to see your stuff and realize that, hey, I like that, I want it. Or, like, I like that person. I know they charge a little bit more than, so-and-so down the street, but, I don't know that person. I want to get it from you because they know you. You built that relationship. And so when you're starting your side hustle, if you're able to worry about who you're marketing to, worry about who you're talking to, and the relationship that you're building. Because if not, people aren't going to like it. People aren't going to share it. People may or may not even comment. And when people don't like, share, and comment, on videos, we all know the algorithms and whatnot, they won't push your videos. You might get lucky and have a viral video, but what do you do if you're not prepared for that viral video? And people want to know where they can get what you're trying to sell. So you got to be prepared. If you're going to go into this 2023 starting your side hustle, And I highly suggest that you get on these platforms and start making videos, whether you go live or not. I'm just starting the live part. You got to have a plan. I know it's just a side hustle. You're doing it on the side, but you got to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan and say that does go viral, then you're going to be screwed. Simple as that. I don't know if anybody watches Big Bang Theory. I remember this episode. I'm sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but there was an episode where Penny is making these little hair things. I don't know what they're called, and they take off, and she has to make like 10,000 of them or something. She wasn't ready. She didn't have everything in line, so she's asking friends and whatnot. So be ready, have everything in line so that you know your shipping and your logistics. How much money you need to set aside for material costs, and how much you're going to pay yourself, how much just your overhead all in all. But I know, like for me, yeah, I get it. Like if something went viral and someone won 10,000 wallets, I wouldn't be able to do that. It'd take me a while, and then of course getting the leather. But one thing about e-commerce is that you can set your stock. So when it's out of stock, it's out of stock. So you can kind of gauge that according to what you can handle. So just remember that don't just go in blind and say, okay, guys, I'm so and so. I'm starting such and such, and it go viral, and you don't know where to go from there. So, but no, I just really like the idea of creating a little bit of extra income. Who doesn't like a little bit of extra money? And especially when you can work a couple hours here and there and not worry about you don't have to worry about trying to find a second job, because you've decided that you can make more money 2 hours, 3 hours out of the week compared to working 20 hours a week somewhere else. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And that's where I'm at. And I understand not everybody is. They have to work the two jobs, and I hate that. I know everybody's in a different situation. So, Jason, how's it going? But at the end of the day, you can start a side hustle in 2023. Are there risks? Of course there's risks. There's challenges. It's just whether or not you're willing to put in the work. People think that all you have to do is post online. So let's see. Hey, what's up, Casey? But you have to do a little bit more than just post, once a month and expect that people are gonna see your content and see what you're making. If that's all you're doing, then no, it's not. Unless you're a lucky one that you make that one post and it goes viral, which I understand some people can make that happen, but the ones that do go viral probably don't have any of their stuff ready to accept that volume. So let's see. racing. I'm sorry. Custom signs. Says my side hustle is at a halt. Word of mouth is hard. My products are CNC carved signs with wood. So okay, yeah, no, I fully understand on that. That's what I did before getting into the leathercraft. I had a CNC, and I did signs, I did flags, stuff like that. And yeah, it can be hard because it is oversaturated, but that's not something that I believe should deter you or anybody from continuing to do it or get into it. Um, my question would be, how often are you posting online? Are you on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, uh, Instagram? I personally don't have luck with Instagram. That could be just me. I feel like I'm posting a lot, or I was, and then I kind of gave up on it because uh, I was lucky to get any traction whatsoever. Um, the other thing is, um, are you on Etsy, or uh, are you um, are you running your own e-commerce, or are you only doing Facebook Marketplace? Facebook Marketplace used to be good. Um, I used to sell quite a bit on that, and I don't know. Something changed. I don't know if it was where they started accepting ads, and um, they started accepting you know paid spots, and it just kind of filtered everybody else out. But I don't get any traffic, or when I was doing that, I started not getting any traffic at all. No luck with Instagram, Facebook, and small circle. Yeah, yeah, Instagram. I feel you on that. Facebook, yeah, Facebook is hit and miss. Of course, I don't do marketplace at all anymore. The only thing I use for Facebook now is to push reels. Let's see. So no sales on Etsy at all. Okay, so Etsy, I don't have it pulled up here, but um, are you doing any type of marketing on Etsy? So where you can pay per click to get your product out there, and rank it higher than others. So I don't know if you're doing that. It does cost in the end, but depending on the volume, you can make that money. No ads because I can't afford it. Can't front it. I understand. I do. Yeah, that's tough on Etsy. That is, because Etsy is so saturated. No matter what niche, it's so saturated. So it's hard to make sales. I made more sales on Etsy during the holidays because the volume. My suggestion, if you're not in a position where you can afford the ads to boost your product up above everybody else's, I would really start looking into TikTok and YouTube, and really like double down on any videos, and really start getting your name out, because that's free. Like, it doesn't cost me anything right now, to get on here and talk to you guys, or to post videos. And I know, excuse my dog, he's barking at the wind probably. But it doesn't cost anything. So to me, that's a perfect way to get people to notice what you're making. And you don't have to be a cinematography type person. You don't have to know all that, but TikTok I have, and YouTube I have. Mainly on TikTok, no lives yet, but I have over 1,000. That's great. That's great. Yeah, keep pushing it. Okay, I'll have to check. I'll check you out later. But so you have 1,000 on TikTok or 1,000 on YouTube? Because if you have 1,000 on YouTube, I would really start pushing that. Because if you know anything about YouTube, once you break that 1,000, if you're making any long form content, you can you'll start working on your hours, your watch time. So anybody that doesn't know much about YouTube and getting into the partner program is getting 1,000 subscribers, getting your 4,000 watch hours, and you can start making money from YouTube. It's not a lot starting out, but everybody starts at zero. That's just it. We see these content creators, these woodworkers, leather crafters, whatever, our favorite YouTuber or TikToker, and we're like, man, must be nice to have 1 million followers. Well, they started at zero too. Yeah, some of them might have someone that can give them shout outs and stuff to boost their following, but we all start at zero. So I would suggest that if you're on YouTube, keep pushing the long form videos. I don't know what type of CNC you have. I just had a router CNC. It was the Onefinity CNC, and that I got that right when they came out. It was like their first run, and I did a video of how to put the thing together. And that's just it. People just want to learn. They want to know how to do something. And the funny thing is, they want to know how to do something. They probably don't even want to do it. They just want to see how it's done. But making videos of how to make signs, how to your process. Excuse me. I bet we gain some traction. So, give that a try. But overall, we got to keep that hustle going. Whether we're on Etsy, whether we're on our e-com site, whether on TikTok, if you're struggling to make sales in your side hustle, it's honestly because we're not pushing ourselves hard enough. And I get it. If you're working a full-time job, 40, 50, 60 plus hours, I don't know. But I promise you there's probably some time in there somewhere where we could go out to our garage, because this is what I do. I go out to my garage and I make a few videos. I post them, or I schedule for post on a day off. That's where the real grind is. That's where I try to batch as many videos as I can, so that I can distribute throughout the week, so I'm not killing myself doing videos all week long. That's just it. You got to plan. You got to prioritize. I was hoping there was another P in there somewhere, but there's not. So plan and prioritize, and just get it started. Like, there's no reason to not start a side hustle. make some extra money. You know, make a few bucks. You don't have to be a millionaire overnight. I mean, it sounds cool. You know, I mean, shoot. I was happy when I made enough money on my first project where I was like, man, I could, go out to eat. I could put gas in my car. I could take my wife out to the movies. You know, see, I've made some jobs, but in a dead spot. Had an LED sign. Dang, heck yeah. I didn't ever try acrylic on the CNC. That's one thing I didn't get into. Yeah, I didn't do anything like that. I've done acrylic on the laser, but man, no, that's awesome. That's great. $2,900. Heck yeah. So I mean, I don't know, how big of a sign you made, or if that's something that you can market and get that out. But okay, shoot, yeah. So a good profit margin. That's awesome. Heck yeah. And that's the other thing is, you either have to have a product that you can make a lot of, with a low cost margin, or low profit margin that you can make a lot of in a quick amount of time, or like that where you can make one and you can make a crap ton of money. That's awesome. 5 foot by 14 inches. Okay, so it's still something that you could ship out. I don't know if that one was local or not, but so you could definitely make one and ship them out. Took 2 months on the side with spare time. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I was there with the woodworking stuff. It took forever because working in a 1-car garage doing woodworking, and you're trying to, you run your CNC and you're trying to paint and finish and everything else, on the other side. It it wasn't fun. Okay, so it was shipped. Heck yeah. All right, so and again, I don't know your financial situation, and everything, but $297 shipping, 98 pounds. Dang. Okay. Wow. All right, that's insane. Which I understand. I get it. Shipping is crazy. That was another reason. I kind of left the whole woodworking stuff because I was doing, especially during the holidays, I was doing all the trendy stuff, all the wood lanterns and stuff. And to stay competitive, you had to try to price it within a certain amount. But then the shipping was insane because the weight of, shipping something like that, I started doing a lot of wood ornaments. And that's kind of what got us set up for the laser. We purchased that a few years back. Started doing ornaments and selling them on Etsy. And that's where, like, anybody that wants to start a side hustle, like, don't wait till January or February to start one. I know I'm talking about, like, hey, start your side hustle now, because we're already going into March here before long. Like, like, there's no bad time, in my opinion. Like, just get started. But there is a very good time to get started on a side hustle. And to me, depending on woodworking, leathercraft, stuff like that, is getting it started in, I'd say, honestly, I'd say like September. I'd say September. Because if you start in September, you can get everything dialed in and get everything to a point where you can start selling in October. You start making your stuff, you can start shipping it out, and you can get stuff delivered before Christmas. Holiday starts in January. Shoot, yeah. Hey, I'm not quite there yet on that, and I'm not really pushing my products just yet. Like I've got a few that are just sitting there on Etsy, but I'm really pushing my side hustle. I really want to get to the point where I'm making the templates and supplying stuff for leather crafters, and of course selling stuff, but yeah, no, I get it. Holiday stock, for some people starts in January. But like I said, I bought my laser. I got it in November, and we did nothing but make Christmas ornaments. And I'll be happy if I never see one. I don't do them anymore, but at the time, that's all we did. That's all we did was custom Christmas ornaments with custom, names and stuff. That's the other thing. Personalization is always going to be there. And to me, it's more so now than it was, back in the 80s and 90s, because you didn't have as many crazy names. Like now you walk into a gift shop and they don't have half the names that people come up with, or the spelling. That's what I don't get. The kid's name's John, but it's spelt with a B. That's just I don't get it. But I like personalization. That's always helped me out. Especially even like the leather craft. The laser helps out a lot because you don't have to. Well, just like the CNC, you can type it up and engrave it, cut it out. You don't have to have an individual die for it. So personalization is something that I think any crafter should try to incorporate somehow, some way. I think it's just one other thing that they can add to it, but at a cost. Like if you're making something and they're like, "Oh yeah, can you put my name in it?" Yeah, I can do that. For an extra $25, $30, 40, I don't know, whatever you want to charge. I know we're not talking about pricing right now, but we just pricing our stuff. Pricing's hard for some people. I get that sometimes. Anybody that does any type of design work, if you're designing the thing and then the client doesn't like it and you have to revise it, after so many times you have to tell that person, okay, all right, I did a few revisions for you on the house, and because you can't make up your mind, we're going to start charging you per revision. Have that in the terms at the very beginning, so there's no surprise. Because I promise you, I told a client that I'll do a couple revisions, and I told them the price after it, and after that first one, and they realized that okay, it can get expensive pretty fast if you can't make up your mind. And that also goes hand in hand with, don't give them that many options. I would say give them 2 to 3 options, especially if you're in a position where it's artwork related or a font gosh, I can't tell you the headache I have had with fonts. And so you make it really simple for them. You design something, and off to the side you have an image, and it has font number 1, number 2, number 3, and you tell them which one do you want. If you're on Etsy and you design your product like the ornaments, you have this big of a surface. I can't put 25 names on an ornament. You've got to limit. You've got to put somewhere in there. You got to say, okay, I can only put this many names, or this many characters. I can fit this many characters, letters in it. You know, and then if they want more, well, you're gonna have to make a bigger ornament. you know. But people think that they should be able to buy something and then add stuff to it without being charged. And we need to be charging for our time and experience. I get it. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to make this wallet. It doesn't take a lot of material to do it, but I'm going to charge, appropriately. I'm going to make sure that my time is being valued. And some people don't understand the value of time. Some people think that it's okay to try to get someone to undervalue their time and try to get a lower cost. It's all fun and dandy, giving friends and family and people discounts, but at some point, when they're just coming at you and say, hey, can you hook me up? And you tell them, yeah, I can hook you up. It's going to be the same cost. But what I'll do for you, because I know you, is instead of it taking 4 to 6 weeks to get, I can have it to you in 3 weeks. And I'm not against helping people out, giving them discounts. I'm really not. It's just everybody thinks that we should have discounts applied to everything. Everything should have a tip added to everything. Go into the grocery store. I had to go pick up actually go get my groceries. Went to checkout, self-checkout, and it was asking for a tip. I'm just kidding. But it seems like that. Every place you go is asking for a tip. Maybe it's just the places I go to. Went into Starbucks. I didn't even have them make a cup of coffee. I went in there to go grab a bag of coffee. Asked for a tip. Like, who am I tipping? Do I get a discount on my stuff? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Like, I make something. If I charge $70 for this wallet, and ask for a tip, I think it's kind of crappy. Like, if you want to, cool, but I'm not going to expect it. I'm not going to lower my cost so that I can accept a tip, because I don't want to rely on tips. for selling a product. Yo, that's how I feel about it. Other people might not feel the same way. I just think if I'm going to give money as a tip to someone, there should be value in exchange. Make my cup of coffee, I will give you a tip. Bring me my food. Do a service. Have a good service. But I don't know how I got off on that. Sorry, guys. But, But yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up here. It's almost been an hour, but just know, create your side hustle. 2023 is a great year to do it. Don't skip out on social media. Don't get in front of the camera. Or hey, you know what? Here's the thing. I know I said get in front of the camera. You don't even have to get in front of the camera. If you haven't checked out Quarter Leather, if you're into leathercraft, if not, I'm sure there's some other channels out there. Faceless channels. You do not have to show your face. This guy has over, I think it's like 500,000 subscribers. Never seen his face. He doesn't show his face. So it's like, when you say get in front of the camera, that doesn't mean you have to actually show your face if you don't want to, if you're shy, if you're not good looking. I'm not that great looking, so I'm sorry, but I don't do faceless videos, but you don't have to. Like, you could literally, I'm watching this guy make a leather wallet, and all I see is his hands. And his fingernails have paint, like he's been working. Like, it's so cool that it's like, I don't care what the dude looks like, like he's talking, he's walking me through it, and I'm just thinking to myself that you can make a video and just talk, and have the camera pointing down, have it pointed down where all you're doing is talking about what you're doing. Like, it's so simple. So simple. I was going to try signs as closing gifts. Reached out to 50 plus realtors in person, no sales. Yeah. Man, have you checked out Jenny and Davis on YouTube? Because they pretty much built a cutting board business, charcuterie board. And I know there for a little bit, that's all they were selling to was realtors. So, okay, all right. I'm trying to think of and they did some stuff that I question, like I couldn't do it. They went to open houses, and I guess when you have the money up front, you can afford to just randomly send boards to realtors, but yeah, I wasn't in that position. I'm still not in that position just to give products away, but then again, I'm not looking to get my stuff into that type of market, but for closing gifts. But yeah, working sales for 15 years, I get it. I've never, other than retail, that's all I've done, but not actual sales. Like, I take that back. I did work for a company for a couple years where it was commission sales, but it was one of those that it almost did its job for me. It was very easy while it lasted, but yeah, man, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess some markets for realtors, it's tougher than others. You know, and then, and I get it, like the housing market, the economy, I'm sure that has a little bit to do with it. It seems to be the excuse for a lot of things. You know, I know it's crazy, but keep at it, man. Just keep hustling. One thing you might try is if you come up with something that you can batch out that can make you some money. I don't know if you're, like I said, getting on social media, getting on TikTok, YouTube, where you can make something at a pre-order to see if it's even going to work, if it's going to sell before making. Like that's what I do, and I know that doesn't work for every model. But we're like for the leathercraft, on Etsy. All right, I can tell them I can make 10 or 15. I don't actually make them until they actually sell, because I allot so much leather for this project, or for for a wallet, or for a bracelet, keychain, stuff like that. But I did some magnetic business holders. I made some for a guy I know who sells at shows. Magnetic business holders. That's cool. Have you thought about reaching out to car lots? Car salesmen, other companies that use business cards. I don't know. Just thought. I know there's only a few niches or few jobs out there that people still carry business cards or have them. Man, the other thing is, sometimes you have to hop on those trends, see what else other people are doing, kind of branch off from there. I don't know if you do any type of epoxy. I know that can get, excuse me guys, I know they can get pricey. But man, there's so much out there. I promise. Keep doing what you're doing. Like when I started woodworking with the CNC, I was doing so many of the wood flags. That's all I did. I mean, my whole garage was full of those wood flags. And then, this you might try. If you haven't done any type of wood flags on the CNC, military, where it has the stars, I'm sure you've seen them, the unions, and it has every branch of the military, in the middle. So I just happened to find this guy found me rather, where he wanted me to make just the union, just the stars with the insignia on it. And this guy was paying me to make, I don't know, I made probably hundreds of them. And then he got smart and he bought his own CNC. But if you marketed those to local woodworkers that either they want to make their own, or they just they don't have a CNC, and they want a little bit extra money and they want to order a few from you, make their own flag. Like, you don't even have to glue it up. Like, you just stain it and cut it and give it to them. Like, that's all I did. I never had to make a flag for the guy. I just supplied the union. So, food for thought. But guys, I'm going to jump off. I appreciate everyone joining in today. Just know, get started, press record, sell some stuff, and we'll see y'all in the next video.